While we're on the topic of murder, do you know what's amazing? Crime documentaries. Right? I don't know at what age it happens, but documentaries suddenly become the most interesting thing you have ever watched. And the media companies know this too, because every time I turn on Netflix, there's a brand new murder series being advertised, and I always end up watching it because nothing calms your mind and soul quite like learning about a man that murdered and cannibalized his way across America. Now, I watch this stuff somewhat regularly, enough to make sure that when I go to bed, I'm wearing at least 4 pairs of whitey tighties, so when the bloodthirsty rapist breaks into my house, he'll have a difficult time getting to my beehole. My girlfriend, on the other hand, for her, it's crime all the time. She listens to the podcasts, she watches all the documentaries, all the crime shows. She's seen like every episode of Dateline. Do you know how many seasons they have? Over 30! That show has 2,700 episodes. And if you don't know what Dateline is, it's a show that basically teaches you how to get away with murder. Her favorite thing to do is like pepper in little bits of details from the stuff she's been listening to while we're doing normal everyday things. She'll hand me a drink and then say something like, yeah, so I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and this wife, she killed her entire family. And do you know how she did it? She put antifreeze in all of their drinks for weeks. And did you know that antifreeze doesn't taste or smell like anything, but if you drink enough of it, just causes all your organs to shut down? I'm looking down at my drink thinking, no, she wouldn't. Would she? She wouldn't tell me that story and then reenact it right in front of me. But maybe she knows that I know that, and that I'll definitely drink it. Well, now it's gonna be awkward if I don't drink it, so I have to drink it. Not if I kill her first. Yeah, so that's what life is like in my house. Kinda makes you miss the old days when all you had to worry about was being roofied by your weird uncle. But the good news is I'm still here, so if she is planning my murder, she hasn't worked up the nerve to do it yet. The real concern here is that there's a lot of published content about murder, and it's readily available for anybody. Thinking about killing someone? Study up. Go watch 2,000 episodes of Dateline and tell me you didn't just level up from casual murderer to super murderer. When you're done with that, Google unsolved murders. Read about those if you really want to take your game to the next level. And remember, there's no shame in taking a peek at your partner's browser history if you think they might be planning to make you disappear. Last time I checked my girlfriend's was right after she told me about her optimal strategy for burying dead bodies so the cops can never find them. Yep, we were watching Dateline, and this guy was getting interrogated by the police about some murders, and I guess the pressure got to him because he just started giving all the details to the cops, what he did to the victims, how he killed them, where he stashed the bodies, and then it cuts to this scene where the cops are recovering the bodies, and I'll just say that these bodies were hidden very poorly. It kind of looked like he wanted to bury them, like the intent was there, but he didn't realize shoveling body-sized holes was a tremendous amount of work, so he just kind of ended up kicking dirt and leaves over them before he called it a day. Yeah, so the cops are recovering these bodies, and my girlfriend goes, wow, this guy, he's an idiot. I said, what do you mean he's an idiot? She says, well, for starters, he should have dug that hole vertically, not horizontally, and it has to be a deep hole. It doesn't matter how tired you get. Then, after he dug the hole, what he needed to do was put the body vertically into the hole. But you need to make sure there's plenty of room between the body and the topsoil, and that's because when the body's completely covered with dirt, you need to have enough room, and this is the most important detail, to put a dead dog in the hole before you fill it in with the remaining dirt. The dog is super important because if the police are searching with their own dogs and they find something suspicious, they'll probably stop digging after they find the dead dog. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, she says. She's just reading this off to me like it's some old recipe given to her from Great Gam Gam. For this recipe, you'll need 1 shovel, 1 dead body, and 1 dead dog. Start by digging a deep vertical hole, and then insert dead body into the hole. Next, fill the hole with dirt while making sure you leave enough room to bury the dead dog above the body. Cover the rest with dirt and enjoy. So that is life in my house. And all I can say is that if you suspect you might be living with a super murderer yourself, just ask them how they'd go about hiding a dead body and see how that gets unpacked. The only thing I ask is that if you happen to see my face on Dateline in the near future, please call the anonymous tip line and tell the police to start looking for my body at least 100 miles away from my house because she is no amateur.